and welcome to the Victorious Living Solutions podcast. I'm your host, Nikeya Young, and I hope you guys enjoyed the little hiatus we took last week, but we're back with 2 all-new episodes to close out 2022. So here on episode 19 today, we are going to talk about the subject, the setup, 2023 loading. You guys, can you believe that we are only a few short weeks away from 2023? It is crazy how fast 2022 has flown by. I can't believe that Christmas is in less than 20 days. Have you guys done all of your shopping yet? Spoiler alert, I haven't done all of mine. Well, whether you have or you haven't, we're going to just deal with that later. You still got some time. Don't wait until the week of Christmas. Try to get out there in a couple of days. Anywho, so this morning I was actually sitting in a Toastmasters meeting. Shout out to Wayo Toastmasters Club in Chicago, Illinois. And we had our inspirational message. There's a moment that we do at the start of our meetings where someone gives a few minutes of inspirational thought before we start our meeting. Well, for today's meeting, we actually listened to an inspirational video by one of my sheroes. I will meet her one day. The Lisa Nichols, one of the best coaches, transformational life coaches, speakers. She is just thebomb.com. Anywho, Lisa Nichols had a video that she recently did about 4 practices to prepare. And we didn't even listen to all 4 of them. We just listened to the first one. So I'm going to be scrambling after we finish taping this episode. I'm going to find that video because number 1 was so good. I have to know what the other 3 were. But I'm going to share the number 1 that I heard from her. So I'll give her credit for this first one. But the other 4 ways for getting ready for 2023 are going to be from me. And then when I go back and find this video, I'm going to see if she and I said some of the same things. Let's see. But here we go with, these are some ways to mentally and emotionally and spiritually prepare yourself for 2023. Okay? And so number 1, and this is from Lisa Nichols, and I concur. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. I can speak for myself. I don't know how many of you guys are like me out there. I am usually so busy preparing for what's next. Okay, what's next? What's next? Okay, I got that goal. Check. Okay, what's next? Great. I got that goal. Check. Okay, what's next? And my brain is so tunnel vision on to the next, that I don't often take as much time. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I'm just plowing ahead. And I don't take time out to go, pat myself on the back and say, girl, you really did that. And so I want you guys to do that for yourself. I want you to think about 2022. And I want you to think about, Lisa said your list, she wants you to write down a list. And your list should have at least 10 different things on it. Now, don't go saying, I can't think of anything. If you can't think of 10 things that you want to celebrate from the whole year, what are you doing? And I don't want you to think that they have to be big things like I got a new car, I got a new house, or, don't think about it in terms of, other people's big wins that you may have seen on social media. Well, I don't have anything remotely close to that. My win isn't important. Do not do that, okay? We're not doing that because your win is important to you. It can be something as simple as, I worked out more this year. I spent more time with my family and friends this year. Whatever it is, it's your win. So don't think of it as, it has to sound as important as somebody else's big win. This is your list. Nobody else is going to see it. Okay? So, and if you guys hear noise in the background, my girls, the twins, are upstairs in bed. They're supposed to be taking a nap. They're not taking a nap. They are boycotting nap time furiously. Anywho, So she also mentioned that success happens when you're consistent. What is your no matter what for 2023? So as you're celebrating your wins, your brain may naturally go to some things you wanted to get done in 2022 and you didn't get them done. Well, of those things, what is your I don't care no matter what? In 2023, I am getting blank done. Think about that and jot it down. And when you make your 2023 vision board, whatever your no matter what is that you wrote down should be at the top of your vision board. Okay? All right. So all of that was number one. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. Okay. So 2, 3, and 4 are from moi. Number 2. And this is big. I'm doing this in a few days. I'm so excited. Get still before God. Okay. Disclaimer. If you're new to the Victorious Living Solutions podcast, first of all, hey, welcome. Second of all, I am an author, certified master life coach, TEDx speaker, all that. But before I'm any of those things, before I'm wife, mommy, any of the titles and roles that I have, I am a Christian. I'm a child of God. And so I'm also a licensed minister. So over here at Victorious Living Solutions podcast, we're going to give you practical tips, but we're always some kind of way going to sprinkle in the word of God or a Bible scripture or some kind of biblical principle, even if we're not explicitly saying God, Jesus, chapter, verse of the Bible. We're going to give you some kind of principle. Basically, God is going to come up. Sorry, not sorry. You don't have to be a Christian to listen to my podcast. I don't care. But just know that I am, and as such, it's naturally just going to flow out. I'm not going to censor that at all to try to be, I don't know, politically correct or, oh, we're talking about leadership, entrepreneurship stuff. Nobody wants to hear about God. Baby, we're going to talk about God. Okay. All right. So number 2, get still before God and ask him what he wants for you in 2023. Okay. And journal it. So this is how I'm going to do that. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, but this is what I'm going to be doing in a few days. I have booked myself a hotel room for 2 nights, and I'm going to take my candle. I'm going to take my poster board and vision boarding materials. I'm going to take my journal, and I'm going to get still before God. I'm getting away from all distractions. I'm going to turn my phone off. I don't know if I'll turn it off, but I'm basically going to set it up to where only my husband can reach me because he's going to be here with the kiddos and I'll need to know if it's something important. But I'm just really going to remove myself from all distractions so I can hear from God. Because you guys know we can rattle off and just start planning stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. But get God involved. Get God involved. Don't just run off with your goals and your list and okay, and not even think to ask God, hey, God, what did you want from me? Or how did you want me to accomplish those things? Or is there something that I'm leaving off the list that's really important that should be on there? Or is there something that I have on there that you're like, oh, no, that's not really as important. You can come back to that one. All right? Seek God and ask him. That's number 2. Number 3, I have been doing this week, you guys, and I have a lot more to do. But declutter. And I mentioned this on another episode of this podcast earlier in the season. So if, during I think it was the first episode, the 4th quarter check-in, I told you to declutter then. And I told you to declutter then because I knew right around Christmas time, it was just gonna be nuts. You're preparing, you're trying to do last minute shopping. You're trying to go to the umpteen Christmas parties that are happening right now. You're trying to, watch every Lifetime Christmas movie and Hallmark Christmas movie. The holidays are a lot. But baby, I do not care if you didn't declutter back in episode 1 when I told you to, Or if you started back then, but then there's some things that you're like, okay, I need to declutter that. Go ahead and do it. Okay. For me, it was my office space, just in the hustle and bustle of everything that I'm doing. It got a bit crazy. And so I'm doing what I can to make my office space decluttered. I've done some redecorating in there. And the spaces that are highly visible that you frequent, if there's anything that's an eyesore, you need to remove it. Any little, I don't know, the treadmill in your bedroom, the chair in your bedroom, the dresser in your bedroom. Those are just examples. That clothes kind of, you have little places in your house where clothes kind of get piled up, or papers may get piled up over here. For a lot of you, that may be your car. Okay. And you're like, oh my God, I know you're right, Nikeya, I need to declutter my car, but it's cold outside. Okay, I don't care. It's cold outside. Just get over it. Go out there and declutter. And since it's cold outside, maybe you just need to do a little bit at a time instead of, because I don't know how much stuff some of you may have in your cars. If it's going to take an hour or more, I don't want you to get frostbite. Just take a little bit out of there each day and then go somewhere and vacuum it out, get it detailed, declutter it. Places where you frequent. Why? Why is declutter such an important step? Why does it keep coming up? Because declutter, like clutter, I should not declutter. Clutter can be a physical representation, like an outward representation of mental clutter, right? It can. Have you guys ever heard the expression cleanliness is next to godliness? Okay, and I'm not saying that to condemn anybody. So if your house is not clean right now, I don't want you guys thinking, oh my God, I'm going to hell. Nikeya said that cleanliness is next to godliness and I haven't cleaned up. Don't worry about it. Okay, life happens, especially if you have small children. But just take some time to declutter those spaces. Car, office, bedroom, anything that's an eyesore. And you will be so surprised at how much you open up, how much clarity you feel, how much you just kind of feel and that rest, that exhale, that is what you want. You don't want to go into 2023 like when you have clutter, even if it's been there a while, you're just kind of moving around, not thinking about it. You think you're not thinking about it, but your subconscious is just dreading, like, that's another thing on my to-do list. It's another thing on my to-do list. I didn't do it. So just get rid of that, okay? And last but not least, we're talking about the setup, 2023 loading, okay? We're talking about how to mentally and emotionally and spiritually prepare ourselves for the new year ahead. And we're believing God that it's going to be a successful year, a phenomenal year. And we're getting ready for it. So the last thing I want you guys to do is soak up quality time with your loved ones and rest. Really? That sounds simple. Yeah, it is. Now, here's the caveat to that. I am a mompreneur. I have 1,000,001 things that need to get done to set up victorious living solutions properly for 2023. Okay? Today, at the day of this taping, is December 10th. Christmas is on December 25th. Okay? So this is what I'm doing. In addition to the other things that I've mentioned to you guys, I'm giving myself between now and Christmas Eve, or probably Christmas Eve. Because women, you all know Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve are two really big cooking days for us. And we do that so that we're not cooking on Christmas Day. Okay, so I'm giving myself to between now and December 23rd to get those things done. Because you know what? Between December 23rd and, everything starts rocking and rolling around January 4th or 5th or so in the new year, I want to give myself time to rest. I don't want to push myself, gun the engine, floor it all the way to January 4th. When I go into 2023, I want to feel rested and ready for it. I don't want to have so much work to do that I feel like, dang, I ended 2022 frazzled and hurried, and I'm starting 2023 frazzled and hurried. Okay? And I don't want that for you either. Take some time to rest. If you don't dot every T and, I'm sorry, I said that wrong, dot every I and cross every T, you know what I mean. By the end of 2022, don't have any condemnation about it. Get to a point where you say, I've done what I can do. And whatever didn't get done by then, it's going to have to wait till next year, and that is going to be okay. I would rather you do that than end 2022 frazzled, stressed, not enjoying your holidays, working, your kids are home for holiday break and you're just like, get away, mommy's working. And they're just like, man, we're off school. I thought we were gonna do family stuff together, right? Now, my kids and I, we always are doing something together because they're homeschooled. But even though they're homeschooled, I work from home and my husband works from home. And so we have to make sure that we're done with our work so that we can have good quality time, that our kids don't have to share us with our laptops or our cellular devices. And we can take some time to pray as a family, make our vision boards, hear from God, just soak up the time. And then we go into 2023 rested and ready to go. Those are the 4 tips that I have for you guys. The first one we borrowed from Lisa Nichols. Thank you, Lisa Nichols. And the other 3 were from me. I hope that you all have enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you again next week for our last episode, and then we'll be on Christmas break, and we'll see you again in 2023. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye, everybody.